gang's all back here, and we can't do LSN Cannons Week without talking about the best games for the Cannons of 2018.
Yeah, we've done, what, top plays? We've done best performances.
Got to do the top games.
We got to.
So we've got 3. We narrowed it down to the top 3. And we start off number 3. We're just going to count them right down.
They had 5 wins, so I
mean, it narrows it a little bit.
Right.
It made it kind of easy for us here.
How about win number 1
Yeah.
on the year?
That's a good way. That's a good place to start.
Yeah, we went all the way back to May 10th.
May 10th.
When the Cannons defeated the Launch at Florida. So that was a big game, you know, and I think the biggest thing was for fans is that it ended a 9-game losing streak that dated back to 2017. So it's like, yes, a win.
Well, especially anytime you win that late into the season, I mean, it's just a relief, I think, for any team to kind of get the monkey off their back. And at this point, you have to believe that they were like, okay, we went down on the road and won a game. Let's get some momentum going. Unfortunately, that didn't happen this year but it's still 15-9 on the road is good enough for number 3 in my book.
The game was impressive. It was a Thursday night win for Boston, and Max Seabald had not one, but 2 two-pointers. And the win really came from a 7-0 second quarter run for Boston. He was able to take a lead there on Florida, never look back. It included back-to-back 2-pointers from Justin Turry and Max Seabald in that second quarter. That was a big run, and maybe one of probably Seabald's best game of his entire final MLL season there. Coming in that game.
Yeah, well, Will Sands, his first game as a
He was
as a
also
pro.
terrific.
Yeah, so he had 3 goals in that game to start his career out, which is kind of cool.
And you just thought, hey, this could be the start that you needed. I mean, it was still early into the season. You know, the Launch was still a team. They were 2-1 at the time, so the Launch was still a team that you were talking about, that you thought that the Launch could be potentially in the playoff hopes back then in May. And Boston came out with a win. And then when you do it at their home turf, like that's big.
Wins on the road always feel good.
It does.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter when, where, how. Doesn't matter how many wins you have.
It's always good to go to
They're
Florida in May because there's less of a chance of thunderstorms
or
lightning delays.
or snow, depending on where you live in the world.
Not in Florida.
Well, yeah,
Beautiful
I mean, there's less
Boca.
chance, here, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
you know what I'm
I get what you're saying. In May,
May.
was it
You
snowing
never know.
here? Probably in Boston. So it's like, let's go down to Florida.
Let's get
exactly
to
what I'm saying.
Let's get to number 2.
Yeah, let's do that. Move on.
That was later in the season. No threat of snow in June. Lizards at Boston. And this is a big, emphatic win for Boston against New York. It happened at Endicott College. 15-13 was the final. The most impressive part about this one was the Lizards needed to win. They led up into this game, and Joe Spallina told us on MLL Press Pass that week, this is must-win territory. We can't go up there and lose. And Boston just shattered the rivals' hearts. The most impressive thing to me about it was the stats. They were relatively even. They went toe-to-toe with New York. It wasn't one thing that was off. They went toe-to-toe, and they beat New York just about every facet of the game. Challenged them.
I mean, it is the Lizards. The Lizards, like, I don't even have to go through the list of who they have on their roster, so you knew it was going to be a tough matchup for Boston. And then you were able still to win. And you got a chance to see the Pennell brothers go against each other. Yeah. And then when you have Rob Pennell be able to put up 6 goals and still get the W, like James had to have felt good. I mean, James had a good game too. He had 2 goals and 3 assists. But as a brother, it's like, dog, you had 6 goals and we still beat you.
We still beat you, man.
We still beat you.
Sorry, bro.
And you see guys like Mark Hockerton step up too. I mean, he was the game MVP. He had a huge game. He had 5 goals, 2 assists in my stats here. And these are the kind of games I think they look at in the offseason and say, hey, this is what we can do. And we can build off a game like this. Even though it happened way back in June, they can say, well, we took them, we battled them at our home, we beat New York, and let's see how we can replicate that more this coming up season.
And then going into this game, did anyone choose Boston to win this game?
Oh, 0%.
I know I didn't pick them.
I mean, I thought New York went on to make the playoffs. When New York lost that game, I was pretty sure New York wasn't going to make the playoffs.
I think Boston at this point was like 2-6 or something like that going into the game. It wasn't pretty. Yeah.
New York was up here and Boston was down here.
Not on that day.
Turned it around. By the way, Zed Williams also big game. 5 goals.
Yeah, career high that game.
Zed.
Yeah.
Just like to call him Zed. One word. We don't need last names.
Lord Zed, if anyone watched Power Rangers as a kid, look it up. Lord
wow.
Zed. He was a bad guy. He was kind of
Man,
red.
that's a deep reference.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
it is Throwback Thursday, so that was
was a
way back. My
Way
goodness.
back reference.
Like Power Rangers.
So we
The
get
Green Ranger,
so that-
everybody. Come on.
That had a pretty good contention for the best game
Yeah.
this year, but number one goes to the end. I have a problem with this. We'll talk about the game
You don't
and
want
then
it to be
I'll
number
tell about
one?
the problem.
August 4th.
Yeah.
The
like,
last game of the
August
season.
4th, last game.
I think it makes sense to be the number one game only because it's how you finish. You know, like for Boston fans, it's just kind of, you didn't make the playoffs. Okay. We knew that was coming. We already knew that. But you also beat the Ohio Machine. Yes, the Ohio Machine were not good. They were not good at all. But they were on a 6-game losing streak against the Ohio Machine.
Yep.
And so you kind of finish that off. And if I'm a Boston Cannons fan, it's kind of, I'm just sitting there like, this was a good way to finish the season, to hopefully get me pumped for 2019. 2018 wasn't the best, but you know, they won 2 games in a row to end it. Trevor Baptiste won 30 faceoffs. It was a good way to kind of end on a good note.
And we'll get to Travis's whatever problem he
I know,
has
I'm
in a
trying to figure
second.
this out.
But
Why?
But I just want to build off of what you were
Yeah.
saying, Megan, is that you look at, like you said, building towards 2019. I remember in college at my football team, we won the last 2 games. We didn't have a great year. We won the last 2 games of the year, and that drove us all off season long. We were like, all right, what a springboard to the next season, winning those last 2 games. And it was huge, and we started the next year really well. So I think that's a great point you made, that you know it's a great momentum builder
Right.
for the next season to win a game like that to finish the year. Now let's get to Travis.
All right, so it was great that Mitch Belisle, Max Seabaugh, a couple of legends in Major League Lacrosse went out able to get a win in their final game. Seabaugh actually set his career high for assists in a single game in that one.
Really cool.
Saving the best for last there and the helpers. However, you talk about your high school team. Did you guys have a draft where you?
That was in college, Travis.
Okay,
Let's
your
not-
college team. Did you guys have a draft to get ready for the next year?
We had recruits come in. We had freshmen.
But that doesn't matter. It didn't affect your draft ranking. If Boston loses the game, they get the first pick in the 2019 MLL Collegiate
So
Draft.
These are still
Wait a second.
athletes.
So are you trying to say
Ohio,
that
I don't know if it was on purpose, but they didn't have a great face-off guy that they sent out against maybe the best to ever play at the collegiate game. So Trevor Baptiste, congratulations, but I mean, we knew what was going to happen going into the face-off X. And so Ohio scores 14 goals, lets Boston score 23, and guess who has the number 1 pick in the MLL draft next year? The Ohio Machine. So, Boston, it was a great way to go out. You get the win, you bump yourself up the rankings a little bit, you finish 8th instead of 9th. However, the first pick in the draft was sitting there. They lose, and it was the only time Ohio and Boston played all year. They would have been tied in the standings, which means the tiebreaker would have gone to Ohio, and it would have been Boston in last place, which would have meant they would have gotten the first pick in the 2019 draft. So all I'm saying is they cost themselves the first pick.
So would you have?
So if Pat Spencer comes out and
done.
becomes a transcendent player for the Ohio Machine, Boston could have had it.
So are you trying to say that Boston should have tried to have a?
I'm just saying, by winning, they cost themselves the
If
first
you're
pick.
strapping
I'm
on-
not
if you're
saying
strapping on
that they
that
should have
helmet,
done anything, but by
you go
winning,
on that
they cost
field-
themselves the first pick.
As an athlete, how can you, how can you?
I hate
think
it all.
about
I
that.
Or
hate
maybe
that
they-
so much.
I mean, maybe they
but
did
it's
try.
Just, I'm just saying, like that is
What if
something
it was?
that
You know, you can't both be bad.
That was-
like someone's got to win. So what if? So these 2 teams are going up for the number 1 draft pick.
can't
What if they
both be
did?
bad.
What if they tried? Like,
Well,
like
I mean, they
It's
could have
worse
done
than
that.
trying.
We've
It was
seen it in some
easy.
other sports.
It was easy,
You watch
you
the
know?
Sixers back there
But
in the
I'm saying-
Together We Rebuild
But
phase.
I'm saying it was easy though. It was easy for them. Like, you know what? We weren't really trying to put 23 goals up against them. It just happened. It was just so bad. I don't think anyone expected Baptiste to go 30 of 37.
I did. In
oh
that
my.
game,
He was trying.
he tried very hard.
He was trying pretty
Maybe it
hard.
just came easy for him. He was like, "Look,
he's a-
I'm doing what I can."
Right.
It just
All-
happened that we just
All I'm
someone's gotta
saying,
score.
all I'm
Right.
saying is that I don't think that they should have purposely lost because I hate that and that's awful.
So what are you trying
But
to do?
What are
I'm
you
saying
saying?
because the fact that they won, which cost them the first overall pick, that was my argument for why it shouldn't have been their best game all year.
Okay, but in our books, it's still the number 1. It's the biggest win because you end the season. Do you agree with that though? It's still it's a good
it
way.
It can be a nice win, but I don't think it was their best win.
They can pay more.
I think the
dividends
New York.
in the
I think
future,
the
in my
New York
opinion.
win was the
Well,
best,
you only had
best
two.
game they had all year.
So we only had. We did include 2 other wins, so we only had 2 other choices to choose from.
So there you go.
Right.
These conversations, I'm done with it now.
Man,
We're gonna settle this
first
later.
picks.